seeds. They only skimmed in, like only top 8 got in. And in the actual playoffs, they come against Fiddle eSports, the 2nd seed, knock them out in the first round. In the 2nd round, they come up against the 3rd seed, Feila eSports, knock them down, and then they come up in the upper bracket final. They come up against Elephant, and they actually take a map off of them. So they've come up against the top 3 seeds, and so far they've only lost one of those, and that was an extremely close game. So coming into this, I would say Gimme opponent are probably the informed team, even though Feila on paper are probably the strongest.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all. As I got a hint from production that we actually missed the entire intro, so I'm gonna do it again because there was no sound on stream. Welcome and good evening, everybody. As I said before, but you couldn't hear me, we are bringing you the UGC Highlander Season 24 lower bracket finals between Gimme effing opponents and Feila. And you just heard CeeJaey talking about, how the team season went and, who should be favored in this matchup. Tonight, though, we have 3 maps for you coming up. This is a best of 3 contest. And first of all, we're gonna play Upward, which is a best of 1, any payload and stopwatch map for that matter. In UGC playoffs is played as a attack, defense, and then that's it. Okay, so we're not gonna be here for all night. We're gonna have Upward, Product, and Steer. CeeJaey, what do you think of these maps, and why do you think these teams picked these maps specifically?
I struggle a little bit with it. I think, Feila have picked Upward. It's a payload map. They are very, very Highlander orientated as a team. Joe is probably one of the best men in Highlander over the past 2-3 years. And their players are very good at the Highlander-based game mode. So that's probably where they feel that they can do a better job as. And coming into Product, which is a more DM-based map, I think maybe, Stingen and his crew are going to be thinking the likes of Kunu, who's obviously doing really, really well as a sniper. He was debut of the season in TF2 a couple of seasons ago. They have demos as well. Tercio, FTH. These are all players, and Hugo as well. All players that can go really, really big on a DM-based map. So I can understand the choices there. I think the real kind of question is the fact that UGC rules, like you said, we only play like a best of 1 on attack defense maps. So it's like it's basically 1/2. So in ETF12 we have a certain rule set, but in UGC you have 1/2. So 1/2 of a King of the Hill map is the first to 3, and 1/2 of a payload or an attack defense map such as Steel is only a best of 1. So if we get to the 3rd and final map to have a best of 1 on Steel, are we going to see some cheesy strats? Are we going to see some, AE rushes? I don't know, man. I think it's going to get really, really interesting. But yeah, I do think this is going to be close on both maps. I think both teams have had their reasons for picking the maps. They are 2 of the most staple maps in Highlander, though. Upward and Product are probably the 2 most played maps in the history of Highlander, since its inception.
Yeah.
So
maps at this point,
they're going to know them inside out.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really confuses me, though, if you say Kinu is a really dominant sniper, Upward is, out of the payload maps, one of the most annoying to play when there's like a really good sniper in the opposing team. So that kind of confuses me, to be honest. Like, I would always avoid Upward. I would pick I think Badwater is not in the rotation, but I would pick basically any other map because Upward sniper is insane.
There's 2 snipers. There's 2 snipers. Sorry to interrupt, but there's 2 snipers I think made their names on Upward. And it totally agrees with what you've just said. And everyone remembers a few years ago, I think it was 2014, the Nations Cup where Snow, who played as a spy for a long time for Killswitch, one prem with Killswitch as a spy, decided to switch over to Sniper, and he played Sniper for England, and he absolutely destroyed the United States. And a year later, in 2015, Snow wasn't around anymore, wasn't playing TF2. A little man called Cloudy suddenly made his name in the wider stage, and he did exactly the same map, same opposition. I mean, beating the United States is a big enough achievement as it is, but dominating that way really put Snow and Cloudy on the map as snipers, and Cloudy just went up and up since then. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Upward is a map where if a sniper really gets lodged in, it's very hard to uproot him.
Yeah, I mean, Cloudy, I think I watched that streak. He had like a 15 kill streak in that game. So the snipers, if they hard on upward, they can do a lot of work. And you dropped a lot of names already. As we see people joining the server, would you mind going over the rosters? Who exactly are Feila? Who exactly is Gimme opponent, CeeJaey?
Well, there's some kind of discussion right now about mercs. So I do believe somebody is. We're waiting on somebody to be approved as a merc for one of the teams. But we can take a look at what I believe is going to be
the
Feila roster.
Yeah, but you can make sense of it.
Feila eSports, I think the lineup is going to be along the lines of Jinxie on Scout. So Jinxie's played Medic and Soldier in sixes in sort of the high division. And, he's been playing Scout for Feila in ETF2 this season and in UGC. Soldier is, of course, Menti, much more well known as a medic in Premiership sixes, but as a soldier and a demo in Highlander, has had some great games. And I've been pointing him out as a real standout player on Soldier. He really does understand the positioning for Soldier. It's not just about the DM with him. Pyro is going to be Tea Time, another experienced player, played in the Season 10 Grand Final in ETF2L. So, he's been around the block a few times. Demo is none other than Joe N, aka Joe N UFC, the legendary Demo man, twice a runner-up in Prem, and of course last season a UGC Platinum champion, and main caller, leader, the heart and soul of Feila eSports. The face. I mean, Joe and Layla, the Jola combo, of course, are the core of this team. But the big man on heavy is going to be Bloodis. He's also land-proven heavy now. Finished runner-up at Copenhagen Games with the Twisted team. He was playing heavy there and is playing heavy for Feila in ETF World. He's got so much experience in Highlander. I've seen him play Scout, Pyro, and Engineer for Feila in Prem over this season. So he's now trying his hand at this fourth different class. Engineer, now I think Engineer is the question mark right now, waiting on who's going to come in as a merc. I think Feila eSports wants Spamfest to play for them, who is their ETF2L main Engie. And it's just whether or not we're going to get the acceptance from Gimme opponents. So we'll keep you posted on who's actually going to be playing Engineer. It does look like Sodium is in the server at the moment, so he's an experienced Engie, has played for a long time, so he may be playing for Feila. Medic is, of course, Layla, who is been around with the team since Season 4. Sniper is going to be Proki. In brackets, should have allowed Cloudy. I did hear rumours of Cloudy being asked if he could play this game, and he wasn't allowed to play. So we do have Proki. Of course, another land-proven sniper, played for Budget Toucans, who finished 4th at the most recent Copenhagen Games, and has a lot of experience playing in Platinum and Premiership. And finally, we have Mezzo, the Spy, runner-up in Prem last season. I think he finished runner-up in Spy of the season as well. Did very well in the Grand Final, and is currently playing for Open Squad in ETF2L Premiership. So that's what we believe the lineup for Feila eSports is going to be. Taking a look at the Gimme opponent lineup. And like I said, keep mentioning Envision. Envision was an ETF2L Premiership team who played last season. They did get relegated. They're currently playing in the high tier under a different name. Can't quite remember what that name is. I think it's Taxi Service or something like that. Can't quite remember. But essentially, it's a mixed team of those players who've played with the team over the years. They have done very well in the high tier before that. Taking a look at the players they've got right now, they've got Demos, who I do believe is going to play, as per his name, Demo. Tercio, now Tercio could either be playing heavy or medic. We've got someone called Schizophrenia in the server at the moment. That is in fact Tuja, who was debut of the season in the most recent ETF2L season as heavy for Envision. But last time I saw these guys play each other, when Gimme opponent actually knocked out Feila eSports from the upper bracket, it was actually Tuja on medic and Tercio on heavy. So I have to take a look at what they're going to be playing today. FTH is more than likely going to be the Spy. Very talented Spy. I really like the way he plays. Very aggressive uncloaks. Kunu on the Sniper. We do have Piney in the server. Now Piney, more well known as a Spy and now as well as a Sniper, has played Prem as both classes. Currently playing Sniper for Open Squad after replacing Cloudy after he left the team. But more recently at LAN, Copenhagen Games, he did play Pyro for oh, I can't remember what team it was now.
Was it the Sensation?
It was Sensation.
I thought it was some STCK Junior Sensation kind of team.
Yeah, he was running the Dragon's Fury, and I remember playing against him and getting like 2-shot a few times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to predict that he's going to be playing Pyro in this game.
Yes, he will.
And I do think Sodium's going to be playing Engineer for Gimme opponent, and I think Feila are just waiting for their Engineer. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what is going on. But yeah, I mean, that's a strong lineup. And sorry, actually no, I take that back. Yugo is actually in the server. So Yugo is of course going to be playing Pyro. Pyro main, played a lot of games in Prem last season, merked for quite a few different teams, and had some decent stats. Was nominated for debut of the season. So I mean, we've got strong players everywhere since. I mean, we've taken a look at all of the teams, and you know, I've talked about the experience and the talent of these guys. Is there anyone who stands out as a game winner on either team for you?
I don't know who stands out, but I'm really looking forward to the sniper duel, because we already said like Upload and Product are probably the sniper maps in Highlander, and Kunu versus Porky. I cannot call it. You know, two British snipers. I've played against them both on I-61 and sixes, obviously, on Product I think even, and it was a mess. We just got destroyed. I do not say that anyone has the better like aim, but Porky has been around longer. I think he has played more frequently than Kunu, but Kunu was always like this big talent, right? Like if he really like keened up and he would be playing as much as other snipers, he could probably destroy most of Prem. So that's gonna be, first of all, a key role to win, and also I think a key really good matchup to watch. And obviously I think, well, from what I've seen and from what I've casted this season, is that the biggest strength of Feila eSports is their combo, because obviously Joe and Layla know each other really well on the server and in real life, and now you have Bloodus in there too. As you said, a very experienced player, knowing what where you have to be and various roles in a Highlander team, and these three players have been on the same page most of the time I watch them, and it's gonna be coming down to that if the rest of the team is as coordinated and can actually, it's hard to say, not feed less, but you know, like, it comes down to if the other part of the team can be as effective as the combo. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I totally agree with that. Like the strength of Feila has always been the combo, simply because Joe is so passionate and strong with his calls that he just basically tells everyone what he wants them to do. And in the combo, that's a very easy thing to do. And if you support him, he puts out a ton of damage. He really focuses down targets. And if you've got a pyro and a heavy doing the same things you want them to do, you know, it's insanely powerful. And I think the strength of the Feila team last season in Premiership and ETF as well was the fact that they had that really strong combo that would just follow what Joe said, and a flank that was capable of doing a lot, holding their own. You know, that Crayon included middle flank. Probably not big names that people expected to play on those classes, but extremely good. You know, middle got in loads amount of med picks, and Crayon, you know, as a scout, held his own, more well known as a medic, but held his own against the likes of Funds and, you know, people like that. So that was very strong for them. But then finally, of course, you had two strong pick classes, Mezzo and Cloudy, who were able to just make those huge plays. So if you've got all of those kind of elements of the recipe coming in at the same time, then it's a really strong thing, and you have the players capable of doing that. But we do look like we're live now, Stinson. Just to confirm, yeah, Sodium looks like he's playing Engineer for Feila eSports, and we do have what looks like Piney on the Spy. FTH is going to be playing Engineer, so Piney back to his roots playing Spy, FTH playing Engineer, very good at the hit scan classes, so I don't think he'll mind. Perlex was the play we didn't mention before. He is going to be on the Soldier, and it is going to be Tercia Medic, Tuja Heavy, so very strong, and Stinghan actually, Stinghan on the Scout, so the team manager stepping in, not playing his usual sniper, he's going to be playing Scout. Just to reiterate, Feila on the blue, attacking first, Gimme opponent in the red, it's just best of one, right?
Yeah, it's best of one. I feel like Gimme opponents has like 10 sniper mains on their team, and they had to rotate around through Spy, Sniper, and Scout. But you have 10 seconds here until the doors open. Yeah, Gimme opponents in the red. Feila attacking first in this best of one upward contest. The doors are opening. We are alive for the lower bracket finals. CeeJaey, what do you see?
Just seeing kind of like a slow push out here. Actually, no, we do see some suicides. Joe goes in, but he can't get anything done. He just takes so much damage. Only gets taken off by demos. And the headshot there from Menti, sorry, onto Menti, just totally denied that. So absolutely nothing achieved there from Feila. And it does look very, very strong for Gimme opponent, in fact, as nobody's taken sort of an ounce of damage, and it's just kind of going back to normal and preparing for the second wave.
Yeah, very well done here from Gimme opponents. You know, you brought up to keep tabs on the soldier and the demo in these suicide rounds, and they got picked up instantly. Mezzo is making his way behind now. He's gonna make a play on the sentry, but the engineer FTH is aware and he gets caught out right away. Joe uses the time, gets demos. So it's a nice, really nice demo pick. Nothing really out of the ordinary here though, and the red movement does get popped. Later, of course, is in spawn still, so nobody is gonna force her anytime soon, and this should be the cue to push here for the blue team today.
Yeah, Proki there, going down to 1 HP. Kind of pre-nerf Pyro, you know, last week. That would have been a kill for Hugo there, but Proki survives. He did actually get the opening pick. We do have a drop there. Joe gets taken out of that Uber. Schizophrenia, okay, Tuja taking him down, and the Uber comes in from Feila. Doesn't achieve much without that demo. They do pick up some frags here. Zukima is actually in now on the scout for Gimme opponent, who I believe is their main scout. So he is into the action, and he dies very early on. So first point goes down in 1:29. That's a fairly respectable time to be capping in. Did look very good early on, but Perlex gets taken down in the tunnel there, so there's not going to be that tunnel, but Kunu, like he said, oh, he's on a 3k stint, and he's just watching that tunnel and taking down anyone who decides to get close. He is well protected. No Razorback in UGC, but he is getting the buffs and the protection from his team. And he's getting up onto the cliff now. Bloodis trying to protect Proki, making sure he's got that space. He's going to jump a Piney with the bags that want to Joe. They're just making space here, Stinson. And it's just one thing to watch when you have that space. The pick classes are allowed to excel.
Yeah, they are allowed to excel, and looks like Gimme opponent opts for that kind of like forward hold right above the entrance, or the exit of the tunnel rather. And Yukuno is just, like you said, picking up anyone who peeks his head around here. He's trying to get some spam on Jitsu, but he backs off because the heavy is just too strong here with the Tommy Slap on. Does an observed amount of damage on long range. Yukuno is on the B house. He has so much raid there. You can't really pop any heads around here. Now it looks like Feila eSports is going to be in the tunnel. They're pushing up to this Moria entrance, and Feila is actually went down, I think, fairly recently, so there's a there's an Uber advantage for Gimme opponents, sorry.
Yeah, they lose Joe as well. Like we said, Joe's very, very like central to this team. If he goes down, especially as a demo, you're not going to push without your demo. But Kunu there is on a 5 kill streak. CT Time and Menti trying to just poke and prod through tunnel. They've got the space and they've got the cart all the way up to the exit, but that sentry from FTH is watching it. Kunu is watching the tunnel, so you can't really get much pressure. Jinxie's trying now, just like touching the cart a little bit. He's just going to get forced away. There's not much you can do. The pressure has to come from the top, and Proki's being given some space, and he's getting a sideline. Can he get Terzi? Oh, he's just watching there. You can see an Uber actually gets used. Terzi took a bit of damage, and in comes the frags. 3 down. Counter Uber comes in. It's going to be tea time to take the majority of that, try to make some space for himself. FDH has gone down, and that sentry will get finished off by the Pyro. But wow, Kunu! 7 kill streak, and that is Layla dead. No heals for Feila. And this is just a really strong hold. This forward hold, dare I say it, Stinson, sorry. Yeah, the forward hold that was coined by a certain team. Strong opinions back in the day. I think we devised this second forward hold, but regardless, this is really solid stuff from Gimme opponent right now.
This is more than solid stuff, especially Kunu. Holy moly, he's top scoring on his team right now, whereas Poki has 2 or like now 5 points, but yeah, Kunu is definitely carrying this, and Mezzo I think is making his way onto him now as he is gonna go down. There you go, backstabbed by Mezzo, and once Kunu is down, there's so much space. Tesho decides to pop off that Uber here onto his demo man, and Blooded is surely gonna go down. He's like 2 HP, but he gets blasted off the cliff. How did that even happen? And Tilted now is all alone. People are gonna collapse on him. Mendy is trying to get a piece of him, but he is safe and sound for now. There are people behind though, but you know, Gimme opponent has been defending this for 4 minutes 57. It's a bit very respectable time. But now you really want to have that hold on the 3rd point and your engineer is down, CeeJaey. That's never a good sign.
Exactly. I mean, do you really need that extra 30 seconds on the 2nd point if it means you're going to lose minutes on the 3rd point? They've lost their engineer and they've given away an Uber advantage to Layla. She's already on the ramp. Oh, but no, Joe gets headshot. Kuda takes him down. Joe is getting dropped from every single Uber. And Gimme opponent are kiting this all the way back to last. But the cart isn't even halfway to the 3rd point. They could re-push this. They do lose demos though, so there's no demo to deny this 3rd point. And I think they might consider just giving this up. TuJaey is going to peek down here. He gets actually taken down by Blood. He's losing that heavy 1v1. And like I said, you lose, you play it, but the counter Uber comes in. I'm not sure if it's going to be a mistake. Layla does go down to Hugo, using that shotgun, and there are some frags coming in, but they're not focusing the cart. Demos has just respawned. Jinxie is getting so much time, and Joe! Oh my god, that surf from Tercio keeps himself alive, but they've lost so many players again. There are 3 players alive.
Mendy is in behind. Mendy's in behind. Tercio seems to be afraid now, and Mendy doesn't play on the medic, and he goes down. Like, nice serve from TuJaey. I love the decision to go for the card here, but you lose your Harry a second before that. You do get Layla, but then nobody really cares about your own medic. And Mendy just makes his way behind, kills the engineer, kills the medic. Key picks here, because now neither Uber nor level 3 Sentry is waiting for them right now. And if you keep up pressure, upward loss is very easy to cap.
Oh, but Kunu there gets the body shot onto Layla. That's going to buy them a little bit of time, and they need this. I think comms are going to be a bit scattered right now. Joe goes down, but Mezzo comes in. He gets 2! He takes down Tercio and Demos. Huge picks, 20-second respawns for the pair of them. And Feila eSports could finish this in the next push. Remember, guys, this is a best of 1. Whoever sets the fastest time and holds out for the longest on this map is going to take the map. There is no best of 3 in UGC playoffs per map. So Tercio just about to respawn now. Layla already at 40%, and it just seems Envision haven't settled themselves. You see the high ground, it's already in control of Feila. They lose a couple of players, but it's a scout and an engineer. They're just the cart pushes. You just need that control for now. And we do see a really passive hold. We see a conch being used. Zukima trying to get aggressive and maybe get in behind here. But they're losing players. Menti getting so much damage down. Joe gets taken down again. Kunu has a vendetta against his man. I swear he's focusing the demo. But Feila eSports so close. They could push this now, Stinson, and they could finish this map off.
I saw so many funny things here at once, and now we do see the blue Uber pop up onto the car here. They're trying to get onto the respawn here from Gimme opponent, and it's so many frags going in favor of Gimme playing. There's only Blood is really doing anything. Piney is trying to get a piece of Mezzo. Mezzo is just pushing the car in. They have heals. Layla is on the car. Menti is trying to deny people. And Tercio just decides to taunt in front of the spawn while people push in the bomb, and we do have an offensive time of 8 minutes and 7 seconds. CeeJaey, what do you think of the time? Is it a good time? Is it an average time? Is it
I'm recovering, man. I'm recovering from seeing Mezzo get just like, I'm just shuddering. The filthy
Who got
stab
destroyed? Who got destroyed?
It was the demo. It was Demos, and he got stabbed literally between the eyes, and it counts out as a backstab. It was disgusting. He got a double stab, which really opened the way there. Perlex actually bought about 5 seconds, I feel. So you know what? If they push this in 7.99, they can buy Perlex a beer or something, because he jumped in, killed somebody on the cart, fell into the pit. But hey, you know, it ruins his logs. But if it buys a few more seconds, it's good for his team. But yeah. 8 minutes and 7 seconds. I would say Feila eSports, they're not going to be too disappointed, but they're not going to be happy. They're going to be on that middle ground, because you know, you really want to be heading towards that 6-7 minutes as a good time. Anything after that is kind of average. And I don't know. I think the first 2 points Gimme opponent held really well. Is going to take a really strong hold from Feila. So it's all going to be about the transition plays. If Feila could get from like to 3rd or to last better than Gimme opponent did, then I think they're going to be fine. But Gimme opponent have shown that they've got some really good pick classes at the moment.
They do have very good pick classes, and Feila opts for the very standard hold behind the medic, and there's a drop from Layla. Demos just jumps in and later decides to just stand in the corner where you cannot escape any stickies. Huge frag from demos. This never works, but apparently it does in UGC Platinum lower bracket finals. As Kunu gets stabbed. I was looking on Kunu because he didn't actually do anything.
Oh, Zukima! Zukima's gone all the way behind and he just spawn camped Layla. So not only did she drop and die, as soon as she respawns, the scout just kills her again. And they're just fragging right now. Proki's picked up a couple of players, but he can't really do much else. He's kind of outgunned at the moment. The Uber comes in onto demos, but it's not really needed. There's a sentry, and actually Sodium cheekily grabs it away with his rescue ranger. So actually, Feila eSports not looking too bad on this. Tsukima kills Joe. 15 more seconds till that man is back in the game. But actually, Feila eSports probably quite happy with the situation, considering what just happened to them.
Yeah, I mean, it could have gone worse, it could have gone better. Tsukima actually managed to pick up Joe on his way back. He just wanted to get out here as Wiethoofd gets a big stab on his soldier. And Hani goes down to do a nice headshot. Frags go into the favor of Feila eSports. Now maybe they're gonna be able to stabilize. Later does have 6%, so the Ubers are quite equal right now. They do go for this forward hold too. And Joe just posts up on the hill here, denying anyone who can walk forward. And game opponent is back there, sweet time here. We do have Poki just doming Damon right away, but he gets down and pays for his sin, CeeJaey.
This is, yeah, I mean, considering Layla dropped in the first 30 seconds, it's taken them like 2 minutes to get to this point. And they haven't steamrolled it onto the second point. And let's not forget, Gimme opponent had a really strong hold on second. You know, they held this for nearly 5 minutes. So, you know, Gimme opponent needs to start thinking about making a move here. There is equal Ubers. They need a pick of some sort. Joe takes a lot of damage. Bloodis and Sodi both go down. The sentry is gone. That's a lot of HP out of the fight. Proki also gets backstabbed by Binding. These are a lot of picks. And, wow, in comes Tea Time trying to get something done. But this is not... The Pyro of Mezzo with the backstab on Takuni. He's actually on Terzi. Terzi is yelling for help, I'm sure. He's staring the spy in the eyes. But that is 4 up for Feila eSports at the moment. The cart is not being pushed. Menti has been doing a great job in denying it. And you can see, focus the objective, guys. Kids, if you want to play Highlander, focus the objective. Menti has stopped that cart from getting capped. And now the combo from Feila are actually going to come back in here and try to defend.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been so much faster, but Menti did a really nice job just hiding in front of the close quarters. The soldier is so hard to 1v1, even 1v2 for that matter. Menti stayed along for a absurd long time, but now the second cap goes down into the favor of Gimme opponent, and it's barely like 3 minutes, so they're much faster until this point. But third and fourth, that's where push comes to shove. CeeJaey and Meto is being in fusions behind him. He's actually in a good position, but as I said, that he gets peeked out and goes down.
I mean, it is push comes to shove, and there's a lot of shoving going on right now. T-Time trying to air blast those plays away. A lot of flashing going on from the side of Gimme opponent, but Mentia gets another flash as well. He's going to keep controlling the high ground. No, he's not. FTH taking out his scan aim out the bag, shotgunning him down. And that is giving a lot of space for Gimme opponent to take this corner. Demos doing the best he can. Kunu with the pick onto the sniper. He also takes down T-Time. No sniper, no pyro to be worrying about on this third point. There's a lot of P being thrown out. People are drenched in urine. And they're just trying their best to play around the sentry. And there's so much cap time. Zukima finally gets taken down by Joe. So that car is going to stop. Piney is going to take up the mantle. Trying to push it now. 4 minutes to go. But Joe is getting so aggressive. He's not getting punished. He's getting so far forward and denying that cap time, Simpson. And somebody needs to help it. Joe's actually in share house really far forward. And nobody's actually, you know, trying to pick him or something. Hugo finally comes in, but it's a little too late. FTH gets thrown off the cliff.
I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt you, but Joe was so far forward. Why doesn't the sniper punish him? And he instantly gets headshot. So Joe, there's no demo man right away. But yeah, that was such a good push by Gimme opponent because they got Menti off the chest, they got the pyro and someone else, and people were covered in TP, but then they decided to go in 1v1 as Kuru is being popped off right now onto the demo man. Later pops hers back, but it's only on Menti. It's not really the choice you want to do. There's a lot of flashing going on. TF2 is actually right now 1v1ing Bloodis, but against the smaller end of that stick. TF2 does survive, but there's a lot of crew players in the death chamber right now, and Feila eSports is recovering and is stabilizing here. Poki is on a fairly decent kill streak here with a high ground advantage over his opposing sniper.
Nice pick there. Oh, actually, both snipers
just
deciding they just want to, they just want to get the demos out of the game. they're not having fun with the demos. Cooney does die though to Menti, getting so far forward. He takes control of that high ground, gets a buff, and then goes back there. And he's just making sure the sniper doesn't have the time and the space. But there we go. Piney takes Proki out of action for a little bit longer. 10 seconds until he's going to be back. Zukima finally going to try, and he's going to take a 1v1 with Jinxie here. Is he going to win it? Actually, no, he loses it. Finally, Jinxie goes down to FT8. She's now going to try and push that cart. Somebody needs to get it closer. Just over 2 minutes to go. Mezzo! No, he gets caught out there. He isn't going to get the backstab. The Uber comes in, and Joe's trying to clear up the cart, but he might get caught out by Hugo. He's getting juggled. The surf comes in. Joe! No, he keeps on. Hugo is just pushing him around. Basically pushes him back to the spawn. But in the end, the demo does die. 5 up for Feila. And this is the biggest chance they've had so far since to push this third point.
Yeah, but nobody is focusing the card right now, and actually they must get sniped here because the card is right in the sideline of the sniper. And it doesn't matter if you lose 4 to 5 people, but the card is not being pushed right now. They're getting on it, and the sentry is focusing as well as Poki. He has 3 shots right now, but he does miss. So the third cap is gonna go down. 1:30 left on the clock for Gimme opponents. This is gonna come down to the very CeeJaey. Both equals are equal, and there's no high ground advantage for the attacking team here, as Feila is actually having the sentry on the high ground here very aggressively. Right, Porky and Sentry are watching the main entrance, so it has to be a push from downstairs.
There's actually a sentry from Sodium in the window. This is the really aggressive sentry we've seen teams do, like almost a forward hold on last. This is as aggressive as it gets. And this is really good because it means they can't get the cart time that they so desperately need. And the Ubers are traded on the stairs. FTH goes down. That's a cart pusher out of the equation. Cooney's also down. No picks coming from that man. 45 seconds to go. People are dying to this Sentry and Proki, just kind of watching the same sideline. And the combo is just happy. They're not under pressure. And 3 players down here forking the opponent. They are really struggling. They need to get on that cart now and just strong arm it through. But no, total control from Feila eSports. They have the high ground. Terzi goes down to Ment. He's on a 3k. And that's almost curtains now, I think, for Gimme opponent. They need to get someone on the cart now, otherwise it is all over for the first map.
I love the decision to put the sentry there because nobody really expects it and they didn't have time to scout it out. So you always expect the sentry to be on top of the spawn, and now the people are just gonna throw themselves onto the cart because it's 6 seconds and it's not actually doable anymore. And Feila eSports wins upward, goes up 1-0 in this lower bracket final of UGC Highlander 24. Only one more map as we are gonna go onto product until Feila eSports potentially secure their spot in the grand finals.
Well, we can see why they picked this map, right? I mean, the first 2 points, Gimme opponent just looked really solid. Kuno was going on a kill streak. Hugo and Demos were just controlling the high ground. And everyone just seemed in a really solid position. And then they just got aggressive. They took an Uber in to try and defend second when the cart was so close to being pushed all the way anyway. And Feila eSports then had an Uber advantage. And I don't think from that point onwards, Layla died, attacking. They just managed to push all the way from second to last in a couple more minutes. Really, really strong pushing. Layla died on the first point on defense. Could have been all over. Could have maybe heard the fat lady start singing at that point. But no, she respawned, she came back in the game, and, the song went on or whatever, just because they had a good position on every point. They transitioned from second to third to fourth really easily. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right there. It was almost effortless there with falling back on the point. It's so important to actually get proper holds, but I am assuming that we have the logs on stream for you guys and CeeJaey. Everybody loves stats. Everybody loves kills, frags, damage. What do you see?
What do my stat I see? I'm bringing the logs up on my page now. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but I love to say it. Every time. Menti, I talked about his intelligence as a player. I'm going to be interested to see what he does on this map because it's King of the Hill. But on a map like Payload, he just knows where to be at the right time, and he's always there and being effective. You take a look at his individual stats. He got 3 med picks, which is the most of any player in the game, as a soldier on payload, that's pretty impressive. But he top frags 24 kills in 18 minutes. He top damages 521 damage per minute as a soldier on payload. If you're holding the flank, you're going to get a lot of spam damage. You're going to get a lot of, you know, conches and stuff like that. But to top frag, top damage, get the most med picks, the guy is just a beast, and he just knows where to be. Not just defending, but also attacking. He knows when to jump in. He knows when to take space. He knows which space to take. Kuno, we were pointing out, had a good game. Getting 22 kills, that's 3 more than Proki. So both snipers actually doing pretty well for themselves. Proki actually getting more damage, getting a higher DPM there, despite Kuno getting you know, a few more frags there. Tea Time surprises me being in the top 3. He's one of the 3 players who actually managed to get 20 kills that game. So clearly it was doing a lot of work for Feila. So, you know, really interesting. I mean, Hugo stats probably a little more impressive to the layman. He got 15 kills, 13 assists, only 8 deaths. You know, that's the least amount compared to anyone, you know, other than the medics. So, you know, he's done really well for himself there. But most of the players just kind of, you know, pretty average across, not average, sorry, pretty the same across the board between the classes. Both spies getting identical amount of kills, but definitely Menti and Tea Time there standing out. But Menti definitely the MVP of that first match. Just taking a look at the medics quickly. 1239 heals per minute. Very impressive from Tercio to get that amount of healing. 1133 from Layla is also quite good. Just the 1 drop from her. So, I mean, both medics, I mean, that drop from Layla could have been, you know, the death song for Feila, but they reacted well on second, and they bounced back. And yeah, I'm really going to be really interested to see how these players play on this map. Since I mean, I said Menti's a really smart player. I'm not saying you can't be smart on King of the Hill, but as a soldier, it's very much more inclined to just bomb in and go for the medic. And I think he's going to just try and do that to Kuno, because so far Kuno seems to be the most dangerous person on the Gimme opponent roster at the moment.
You know, I felt like that too, but as I just kind of skimmed through the logs, I'm really surprised that Poki actually held his own here. It looked like Kuno is destroying Feila, and I think that's what happened in the second half of that map we just saw on Upward, is that Poki kind of got into the game, got into the groove, because it's actually only 22 to 19 frags, and he has more headshots than Kuno. So it felt like a really dominant map. But
he got more damage as well, and he actually killed Kuno twice. Kuno only got him once. So, yeah, you know, exactly. Other than kills, Poki's stats are actually better. Fine,
you know, that's okay. You know, if you think, or if your enemy sniper carries the first point, the second point, and you can't really get a hold of him, that's where you crumble. But Poki managed to recover, managed to get back into the game. It's so important, even if you don't look for the 1v1, as both of these snipers are kind of trying to avoid each other. I would say 2-1 in like 15 minutes. It's not like they're looking at each other's heads and trying to get each other's names, and but they try to get the player count of the enemy team low. And it's not necessarily the key picks they get, but it's in the amount of frags they have. As we're going live fairly soon here, and to your point on the soldiers, I personally always dread the soldiers that are just alive in this map, because there's so much that can run behind you, and you really need the mobility of a scout and a soldier to get the people who, you know, got behind you. And I really do not like the suicidal kind of soldier play on this map, but you probably know more as we are going live here on King of the Hill Product, second map of the UGC Season 24 lower bracket finals here, CeeJaey. First mid fight, what do you see?
I saw both demos getting extremely aggressive and taking a lot of damage. Demos is actually very, very weak. Big bomb in from Menti, get some damage down on that cliff. Mezzo is actually already on the cliff, and he's going to make a play onto Tuja, takes him down. Lots of frags going for both teams though, and it does look like Gimme opponents have lost the majority. Tercio died there. There's only 3 alive, none of them able to make a play onto Layla, so she is safe and sound with that uber advantage, and they get the first cap there. Feila eSports, like you said, winning the first map. All they need to do is win this, and they are in the lower bracket final, guaranteed at least second place for Season 24. And it's going to take something for Gimme opponent to get into this, because seem to struggle for positioning early on there. Menti goes down. Mezzo is in behind enemy lines, but probably waiting for some suicide waves or something to go on here. He's trying to make a play onto Layla with 100%.
And Feila opts to be really defensive here with their Uber. There's so much space. Layla actually drops to a nice pipe from Demo right there. That's what you not want to do. It's what separates the best team from a good team. Is if you have the point, you have to defend the higher one. It is up to just walk back for no reason at all, and they pay the price. And the cap goes down into favor of Gimme opponents. Only 45 seconds down here, so it's definitely some comeback potentially after that lost mid fight.
Look, that place is kind of, over the past 6 to 12 months, is where medics decide to hold because it's out of the spam lines and it's really easy protected. You can heal people there. The main problem is with the Iron Bomber basically being meta now. Demos can spam there and it takes 2 pipes. By the time they're throwing that 3rd pipe in and the rollers start popping, you're in big trouble as Mezzo is going ham, picks up 2 kills there. Uber is actually used by Tercio and it achieves nothing. So they are ahead in the time stakes now. But Layla has the Uber advantage again.
Mezzo gets a big stab on Walkie as well. They should actually free up a lot of sidelines, and Feila just goes for the point, gets the frags. Mezzo gets another stab onto Hugo. Mezzo is just on a 4K right now, and he just doesn't seem to die, just showing up behind people when it matters so far. Point in favor of red team. Veneta decides to be really defensive. Demo's just gonna pump in, gets a nice first pipe onto Layla. Actually scares him enough to pop the Uber, and that Uber, as you said so nicely, does not achieve anything as well. So Tercio is gonna have a nice big fat Uber advantage.
Mezzo is just destroying them right now. He's got 16 points already. It's only been, you know, a couple of minutes. He's just doing so much, but yeah, Tercio has to do a lot with his Uber advantage. And Cooney, that opening pick onto Joe. That is no demo, no traps to worry about, no spam. They can walk in here, it's just Proki. Be careful, but Proki gets it! He gets the body shot, takes down the medic. Huge from him. Piney and Kunu are trying to get that team back in the game. And open Layla! Layla goes down to Kunu. Both snipers starting to turn up here, taking down the respective enemy medics. Amazing play. Piney gets the kill onto the demo, so that means Gimme opponent have captured the point. And because of the change in the spawn waves, actually Tercio has spawned now. He's at 30%. Layla's not too far behind. There is no Kunu to contend with for the time being. But while these snipers are popping off, Roki takes down demos. Piney's going to come in now. These pick classes are just slaughtering the opponents. It's just shooting fish in a barrel. And actually Feila eSports with the dry push have managed to recapture the point. They're going to make that time tick down to less than a minute now. And Tercio and Co need to come up with a plan to take this back with an equal Uber situation.
Yeah, Demo is now taking all the heals from his medic, trying to get some space. Messa's behind already, so keep an eye for that. CeeJaey is just trying to get his medic safe. Piney is trying to stick behind. They have Menti on the flank, actually making a play on Tercio, gets Hugo, and Menti is still alive. Tercio is so weak, there's gonna be the jump. He doesn't quite get it, but Data gets forced right away here. Nice stab onto TUJA though, no heavy for the attacking team. And just sitting out here on the cliff on the China area. CeeJaey, only 19 seconds left for Gimme opponents to actually push and cap this.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to make something with this Uber. They've come in, but they're not getting close to Layla. Zukima, I mean, Zukima getting so deep, but he didn't have the support. Really needed somebody else like a soldier or a demo jumping in there, and they're just going to get slaughtered on the board. I don't think they're actually going to cap it. Seven down, it's just Perlix now.
This was such an odd path from Tercio, but it was so early, nobody was in there. But Poki was on fire that whole round, and he was just staring him down on the point. And I think that's why Tercio opted to just rather pop it than drop it, but obviously that Uber did not achieve anything afterwards. The collapse from Feila eSports secured them the first round here, 1 up for Feila, and we are going live. The second minute already, Zukima is trying to get some pressure on the point. Seems he's the first casualty. Now both coaches are making their way in, CeeJaey.
Yeah, Menti's creating havoc. He's just jumping around behind and just not going for anyone, but he's causing distractions, and that's allowed Feila to just stroll across the point. You know, it's like a walk in the park. I mean, a walk in the park where all of your friends die around you. So maybe not like a pleasant walk in the park, but
yeah, I was gonna say.
they had so much space. I mean, if your players go in deep like that and you have space, you walk together as a unit and you could do a lot. But actually, Gimme opponent just held solid. You know, like those is it the Romans or the Spartans, where they just kind of stood there with their shields, waiting for them to walk into them and just killed them. And they've actually won this mid-fight. So this is their choice of map, remember. They have to win it to stay in this tie. Otherwise, they are relegated to a third place position for this season. And they're kind of... yeah, they're holding passive on the cliff. Tertiary really safe here. He's kind of not wanting to get sniped. As I say that, Kunu is dominating Joe on a 4K now. The Scorchers just meeting each other there. And look at Feila, they're getting cap time for free. Jinxie's actually going to cap it.
Yeah, this is such a bad play. I'm sorry to call that out, but you know, if you have the point, if you have the Uber, you don't ever want to give it up for free. And almost Tsukima goes down, and we get a nice stop for Kuno, picking up later with the headshot. Only 2 people up for Feila. Piney gets a backstab on Joe. Whole combo's troubling right here, and the time is ticking in favor of Gimme opponents. Is this comeback round?
It could be, it could be. I mean, Tercio is safe and sound right now. Surely, at some point, you know, Mezzo and Menti, they're going to work out where he is and how to get to him. It's quite simple, and they're going to adapt it, but for the time being, he's really safe. But Proki with the snipe onto Kunu does mean there is a big sniper advantage for Feila, and look at the amount of space they're taking. They're doing this so well, and in comes the counter, but so close there. Millimeters off the cap, and they're actually going to clean up Jinxie, Serdi, and Mezzo all going down because of that Uber. Layla does survive. She's at 40%. And if Tercio builds this correctly, he should have the Uber just in time for when Joe and Co start pushing again. Piney there with a shank. Is this prison? He just takes down Brokey with a butter knife to the face. But in the end, yeah, Gimme opponent are holding on here, Stinson, and they're looking strong for this round.
Yeah, strong indeed. Only 1 minute left for them to defend here, and 2 minutes and 50 for later. And Menti tries to make a play, but he gets snapped by the mini sentry. It's always bad timing when you run in there. Hockey is very far back, and getting jumped by Perplex mode. And later goes down by the big bomb on Perplex. I think he was aiming for the sniper, but he found the medic. He's like, you know, why not? Why just kill her instead? And this is not good for Feila, and this is looking like a dominant round. And maybe the tie here on this map, as Kuno gets a nice snap with the Menti as well, CeeJaey.
I have to say, as a fellow medic main, you must feel that discrimination when a soldier bombs in, aiming for somebody, and then he just sees you and he thinks, you know what, I'm going to ruin your day instead, and takes you down. And once again, I mean, I feel I've said this 3 or 4 times now, Tercio is playing like some passive with 100% in the bank, and Layla has to catch up. And it's not so much her fault, it's that Feila eSports are not finding a way onto Tercio. He's just well protected. He's so weak though. He finally does use the Uber. They're going to block the point again. Brokey goes down to the backstab of Piney. And they're not going to pick up very many frags with this Uber, but it's probably enough for them to destroy the chances. Tsukima just starting to turn up here. He's on a 7k. And he kind of joined a little bit late on that upward game, but give him a DM-based map, and he's going to start running wild, and that is 1-1. Remember, we're playing first to 3. As only UGC play to 1/2 in the playoffs. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, Gimme opponent looking so strong now.
Yeah, we're going to be strong as we're going live on third. But Demos is super fast and takes a ton of damage. And so we actually pace for it with the life. And Perplex mode is now trying to follow up on his presence, but he gets denied as well. This should be an instant fate of mid, and yes, the blue team is already opting to go out of here as Pani gets caught on the point, so no shenanigans going on there. Kuno gets a snipe on the engineer, but that won't matter, and the first mid cap on this third round
is going to go down. There was 2 decisions there. 2 decisions which won that mid fight, okay? So both demos were actually extremely weak after their initial sticky exchanges. Jinxie followed up on the damage, okay, and took down demos very, very quickly. Joe was stood behind the rock for 5 seconds waiting for an arrow. If anybody had gone in and followed up on that damage, he was dead, and that mid-fight goes back to being, you know, a stalemate and going for that pick. But because nobody followed up on demo's damage, It ended up being a win for Feila eSports as Joe just came back in and started just dishing out that damage again. We see Menti trying to get him from behind, going in with Perlex, MGE, Product's left side, or whatever you want to call it. But Uber does come in from Tercio here. Layla is going to respond in kind. And it's going to take a scout and a demo in, but they don't need to chase actually because they're still in control of the point and they are ahead of time. But the Piney comes in with the backstab onto the demo. Bloodies also gets taken down by Kunu. These pick classes are popping off. They're just getting the frags at the right time. And Gimme opponent managed to get the point and get the frags in. 3 alive for Feila eSports.
Poki is trying to hunt his prey here. Actually gets pressured here nicely by FTH and Tsukima. But yeah, like I said, it seems like whoever is pick classes, go for the snipe, go for the backstab, and is successful, is having the upper hand here. I don't think the demos and the medics and the heavies are doing all too much here, as T-Time goes down to Piney stab once again. I think it's the pick class sniper and the spies that are actually defined this round so far, as Gimme opponent is trying to pose up on the point sheets. Gets some nice capped on, actually, half it capped, but has to now go out as Poki has no range. Joe went down to a body shot from Kunu.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking in that first round, Mezzo just killed everyone as Kunu gets the headshot onto Layla. Medic down, Tercio again with a huge advantage, just gonna have to use it actually. Flashing as many people as he can in, and they're just gonna slaughter the remaining players. Joe goes down very late on, he's gonna have an 11-second respawn, 5 seconds slower than the rest of his teammates, and it's not looking good for Feila eSports right now. They are behind in the time stakes. Just to go back to what I was saying, Mezzo was just going absolutely ham on that first round. He just seemed to be killing everyone, 5 kill streaks here and there. But right now it seems that it's Piney that is starting to do it, and Proki is stepping up to the plate. So like you said, these pick passes are doing so much, but Tsukima is my man at the moment. He's on a 6 kill again, and he's just picking up Piney. Takes down Layla Stinson. Somebody has to protect Layla. These players are just swarming to her. There's been about 5 different people who've killed her now, and she's just not getting the protection she needs.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say that Layla does not have fun right now, because there's always a sniper staring in her face or a spy right behind her head, and Kunu actually destroys Minty, getting the snipe in the air. Holy moly, that's gonna go on YouTube. But like I said, Tercio actually using the sniper here, that's okay if you get a crack on the later, but Tsukimi is completely alone. Tercio does not want to chase that. The advantage is not too big though, but it might be pushable CeeJaey aspect. So, you know, I was looking at Mezzo, he's making his way up this cliff area, but there's a heavy actually looking for people. Is he gonna get the stab?
Yeah, Tercio died. I'm not sure how he died. There's actually a few frags coming in for Feila eSports right now, so they should be able to capture this point. And they finally do get some more time, but Joe dies as soon... Excuse me, sorry. Excitement's getting to me. Joe dies as soon as they capture the point. And that's such a long respawn for him as they do control the point. Menti is also down, so there's literally no spam. The Uber is going to come in. Jinxie is going to take most of it. Teen Time following him behind, but they're not going to get any frags with instance, and then the repush is going to come in from Gimme opponent. They're just going to flood forward. Demo is getting so much spam. Kunu is going to be a casualty to Mezzo. He's still lurking in the back lines, but it does look like Gimme opponent are going to capture the point. They have 20 seconds left on the clock and 100% Uber. Tercio is just holding behind the point. He's just not wanting to drop anyone, but Menti picks up 2 on the flank, so he's going to have to use this, and it's a big play right now.
It's a big play. They decide to do it. Only the Pyro though. The Pyro, as you said, has been nerfed. There's not that much damage, but Alina is so low though, and she actually dies to the flames. But Tercio pays with his life for it, and both medics go down. Though do keep in mind that Tercio is gonna spawn faster here. Is he maybe gonna go for the crits? I don't know. So many frags going down for Gimme opponents, and they only need to recap this, and this should be a fairly convincing recap. It's 2-1 for Gimme opponents.
Any new players watching this map, any new players who are getting into Highlander, that round, you watch it, you study it, and you look at Gimme opponent what they just did. They let them cap the point. Feila eSports capped the point, but they forced them to throw bodies onto the point and actually die. And because they lost so many players, the respawns were faster for Gimme opponent. They just walked on and basically capped for free. We're onto a new midfighter. Piney is going to take down the medic first. Layla dead, Joe dead, Tea Time dead, Bloody's all dead. Feila eSports is basically a graveyard right now, and Gimme opponent have just started to turn on the style. Pretty much a flawless mid-fight. FTH did die, but no one cares about NG mains, I'm afraid. No, I'm sorry, guys. If your NG dies during a mid-fight, you know, just go back to spawn and build a teleporter. Gimme opponent going to be very, very happy about that. And Piney there with a cheeky stab onto Tea Time.
You know,
call that a Matador, I think.
I always like Spice backstabbing pirates. It's so satisfying to watch. But yeah, Piney is actually top scoring on this team and doing so much work. Blood is going on, but Matzo is using the Ambassador. What do you think about that? And he actually headshots Kudu. The weapon has been crit, and now on this product map is gonna be whipped out. But yeah, there's not much going on right here as Perplex is trying to deny people on the point. Joe is... I know, one thing that really stood out to me is that Feila eSports always tries to cap the point as Gimme opponents is popping off the Uber flashing the scout, trying to desperately get any frags. They do get Feila though. Perplex nicely done here, using the distraction by the rushing players onto the combo, and goes from behind, gets so much damage on Joe and kills Layla crucially.
That was beautiful by Perplex, but it was also horrible from Feila. I don't understand. They did everything right. They saw the Uber come in, they backed off behind their house. They're in a strong position there. The Uber can't reach you. All you've got to worry about is a spy or a jumping soldier, and nobody reacts to Perplex. He just jumps in and manages to take down the medic and the heavy for free. Really poor play from Feila, huge play from Perplex. And you take a look at the time right now, Feila eSports haven't even captured. They still got 3 minutes to go. 120 for Gimme opponent. They're in total control here with a huge Uber advantage. Layla just needs more protection from her team. They just need people playing tighter around her, and they can get back into this. But Piney takes down Proki. That's going to give Kunu the space and time he needs to just take pot shots at anyone he likes. Piney, someone needs to stop this man. Someone just do something to kill him. The slaughter comes in. Layla is going to survive, but she's going to have to basically take her team in with this Uber, hope that they win the Uber fight, and hold on to the point for the remainder of the game.
You know, if I was casting like a decisive game, right, this would be a slap in the face because it's only 40 seconds left for Gimme opponents, and on the whole 3 minutes of Feila. This looks so convincing right now. This could be the Tahi on this map as Kuno just domes Joe right away. There's no demo man for the attacking team. Flooders takes a ton of damage and has to worry about the snap as well. Later uses her Uber onto Gypsy. She's alone. She just does not do anything. What happened? She walked forward, but her team didn't. She just
what
walked.
happened? Right, do you want to know the sequence of events that led to that? Because Gimme opponent have won this game now. It's over. I mean, Mezzo's just going to backstep onto Tercio, so maybe some suicide. You got 2 seconds. Jinxie is going to get onto the point. Menti's actually on the point as well. It is basically just going to be a DM fest. Big Perplex though comes in, takes down Layla, Sodium, and even if they do capture the point, the respawns are going to come in. Porky with a nice couple of headshots. He takes down Kuno as well. Is he going to win this game by himself? Joe with the punch!
Actually, this might be the recap teaser here as Spidey is going on to the point. He's so weak, goes down, and with the spy ward we want to draw, but they do say MG doesn't matter, but Spidey gets the better of Layla and Jinxie actually.
Tusha has 5 dominations.
Oh my god.
So what happened earlier? Okay, I remember I said they need to go in and they need to win this Uber exchange. And when your spawns are better because you don't own the point, you should be getting an exchange. As long as you keep your players alive in that situation, then you're able to win the kind of the post Uber fight. Okay? But what happened there was Porky was one of the last remaining players alive. He had no protection. He got taken down very late on in that fight. Because he was still in the respawn queue when the rest of his team was pushing, they pushed forward. Kunu doesn't have to worry about being counter-sniped. He's just watching the sightline and takes down Joe. There's no demo in the Feila push, so they decide to Uber in Jinxie and Tea Time, and they just can't chase. By the time they get to Tercio, he uses his Uber, the counter Uber comes in, and from then on, it's just, that's all she wrote. It was done. I mean, it's hard to kind of pinpoint the problems, like when it comes to the team fights, but when you see these individual plays, it's these little mistakes and these little things that happen that cause the tide of a battle to just change. And like I said earlier, Perlex is jumping in at the right time, and Layla's just not getting the protection. I mean, it's very easy to point to a medic and blame a medic for dropping, or blame a medic for dying in a bad position. But when your medic's in a good position and your team's around them and they still die, you've got to start pointing fingers at the rest of your team and say, hey, guys, why didn't you kill the spy? Why didn't you kill the soldier?
I was going to say here, I mentioned, because I was convinced of this, that the combo of Feila eSports is their stronghold, right? But on Upward, we saw Feila dropping even her demo, as we do have the logs on the screen right now. And now, if you look at the logs, CeeJaey, it feels like it's only a little bit of stuff going on that is deciding these rounds, but it's actually 171 frags to 109. And the combo of Feila eSports is not looking too strong here, CeeJaey.
I mean, yeah, you take a look at, like, wow, that's actually more than I thought it was. You got a 12k damage difference. Gimme opponent 57,000 damage as a team, only 45,000 for Feila eSports, and 171 team frags to 109. That is extremely dominating. I was going to say before the game, or before looking at the logs, either Perlex for his good bombs. He was getting good bombs going in at the right time and picking up the medic. I think, looking at logs, he got 3 medic picks, but it's got to be Piney. Piney just, I don't know. He was not being called. He wasn't being focused. I have no idea. But if you're allowing a spy to get 28 kills in 18 minutes on King of the Hill, something is going wrong. I mean, oh my days. Mezzo, who is probably one of the best spies in Europe right now, Prem Final, absolutely excelled against strong opinions in the TF2 HUD Grand Final, has been doing really well for Open Squad so far this season. He's gone 12 for 25. He was just being denied. Piney, 28 kills. That's absolutely insane. 600 DPM. He was just running amok and getting down key players as well. He takes down the sniper 7 times. He takes down Layla, the medic, 4 times. Most med picks in the game. You take a look at the rest of the players, and it's just that they're not dying, right? You take a look at Schizophrenia, aka Tuja, the Hungarian heavy. He's gone 27 kills to 8 deaths. You take a look at FTH, the engineer. He's died 8 times. They both got KDs of over 5. Tercio died 5 times. That's like, 1 death per, 4 minutes or whatever. It's absolutely crazy. Layla dies nearly 3 times the amount. And like I said, it's very, very easy to point the finger at a medic, but when the medic, like I said, she was in good positions a lot of the time on the retreat. You just need your pyro, your heavy, somebody to throw the body in and take the hit, take the death in their logs so that your medic can survive and you can repush with that advantage. But, you take a look at Joe and demos, they're pretty much equal across the board. Everyone else is kind of fairly equal, but they're just, some players are just excelling there. And I mean, you take a look at the medic stacks, again, Tercio with over 1,200 healing per minute. Layla was just that 1 drop early in the game. It's
1,200 healing per minute. That's absurdly much, especially for a King of the Hill map.
If as long as you don't die, you should be getting 1,100 as a medic.
That's the point, right? You die as a medic. You die on the King of the Hill map, especially in Highlander, where there's so much stuff going on. And the pick lance is also strong, and I'm really impressed by how well. I mean, it comes down to 2 things, right? Either the aggression of Feila eSports wasn't enough, or the demo the combo of Gimme opponents was keeping their medics safe. But as we are going onto this 3rd map, and they have 18 players on this server, and nobody's a spectator. CP Steel, CeeJaey. CP Steel is a map. It's fair to say not everybody likes it, but in my humble opinion, as an admin, CP Steel is the Highlander map, right? For me, it's the Highlander map. It's such an interesting map. It is very complicated, which it is why I think a lot of people don't like it, because it's frustrating sometimes, and you actually have to get behind it. But it's so exciting. You can have a 30-minute long round on CP Steel, or a 5-minute long round. And if you have a good defensive hold or a good aggressive push, you can always win by just doing something cheeky, by being a team. It comes down to coordination, and this map rewards you for actually map talk, working out strats. CeeJaey, do you agree with me, or am I just like off the roads here?
You've spoken the truth, my friend. You've spoken the absolute truth. I mean, I like to call Steel the Marmite of Highlander maps. If anyone's UK based, you know what Marmite is? It's this brown stuff that you put on your toast, right? And people, the tagline for it from the actual company is you either love it or you hate it. There's no one who's like, yeah, it's okay. You either love it or you hate it. And that's Steel. You either love it because of its complexities or you hate it because of, you don't like the difficulty of it or whatever. And I think it really does separate the teamwork between teams. But, after season of playing this, you can see some really strong defenses. We've seen that the changes on A point. I've seen B point. I've seen player member playing against Chess Club in season 9, where they really kind of just changed the way that B point was held with the sentry. And then I remember playing with my team, and we kind of changed the way to hold from D&E on White Room, and it's just so many ways teams have changed these holds. C point has seen about 3 or 4 different holds in the past few years. It's just you can come up with your own strats, and if they work, they work. And you can have really strong holds, but also, echoing what you said, you can have some really fast times. The fastest ever time in a top league game, Stinson, was SNSD managed to capture the E point in under a minute against Killswitch. Yeah, because Killswitch did so well in their attacking phase, or in their defensive phase, that they thought, hey, no, it's fine, we can just hold A, and they can't win. And SNSD just went straight through B, didn't capture B, and just captured E.
I'm so glad you agree with me, because CeeJaey actually rotated out of the TF2 map pool because people hated it, but now the best Highlander player in Europe, agrees with me. I'm really glad, as we have Gimme opponent and the defense, and Feila eSports on the offense here, as the gates go out and go up. We have, the usual kind of thing. What happens is that nobody really defends A. I think that's the one weak point Snap has, because A hold is not really something you want to do. Pioneer's trying to hide here, but everybody else. The A-Layla actually bumps into him, but he gets caught out, so no action here. And now it comes down to how well do you defend this, kind of AE lobby, and how well forward do you defend B.
Absolutely. Remember, just to reiterate, this is UGC playoffs, and we only play to a best of 1 on these maps. Kunu is actually on the classic. He's watching that drop down. Will he win the sniper battle against Brokey? Layla uses, and the counter Uber comes in. I'm watching B, but the action is on E, and down goes Layla into the pit. She tumbles down, and it's going to be the first pit kill of the game. Many more to come, I'm sure. Menti also went down as well. So that's a lot of players down for Feila. This AE push hasn't worked out well for them. And we do see Sodium actually has a level 3 sentry on the E point. He's watching the E side spawn. Oh, sorry, no, that's the A side spawn. So he's got a decent sideline, but the thing about Steel is the capture takes so long when you don't have many other things. And Piney, huge play from him, gets the revolver out and takes down the engineer, and has also sapped the sentry. So that threat is gone. There are no bridges in play on E point until you've captured C. So the only players who can get onto that point are the likes of the Soldier, the Scout, the Demo, maybe even a Pyro if they can leap onto that point. Menti is the next person to try.
This is exactly why I love this map, because there's so many shenanigans going on. The engineer on offense, on payload, always runs mini sentry, because there's nothing you can do with level 3. But it's still, engineers actually do matter where they place the teleporters, where they place the level 3 sentry. It was a good attempt here, but now the red team does pop off their Uber, and nobody's very eager to get blasted off in this pit here. But the Spy is in a perfect position here, but Game opponent just walks back to the spawn, and I think that Feila has a general plan how to approach this, but they seem split up here. There's so many people on the E point. I like that. I like the effort. But Boom is in a perfect position to actually kill T-Time and throw off the pit. And I remember just now that Blackout back in the days had actually command and chat the exclamation mark pit for... Actually, yeah, I just hear from production that we do have to. So if you just want to know how many pit kills there are Just put exclamation mark pit in the chat and you will see.
I just... Sodium's got a level 3 again on E, but it's all about Yugo just denying those Ubers. I mean, it's common sense. I think the biggest part, we can actually see Feila finally deciding to go back to the basics and try and push B now. If only they'd had a couple of people do that at the same time they were pressuring E, they would have one of the points by now. Big bomb in from Menti. He's going to get denied, but just get a lot of damage onto Tertiary. Forces him back. And Bloodis is actually going to get a lot of damage forward. Just kind of getting damage on that balcony. Layla's gone down to Yugo. He just chased her all the way to spawn and dies. That tracking with the degreaser.
Tracking.
Yeah, tracking with the degreaser is needed. Bio tracking's needed now, Stinson, after the update. We do see pressure on it's Jinxie this time, and Zukima's going to try and fight him 1v1. MGE steal, adds 27, I don't know. And but yeah, Feila are struggling right now. I mean, they've kind of fully committed to an E push and it's not worked out for them, and now they're half-arsing a B push, and that's what we were talking about earlier, or you were at least saying, Stinson, you need that combination. But Mezzo with the backstab onto Tercio, that is a drop, and that could be the opening goal. I mean, it's not very often you get an assist against yourself, but Tercio just experienced that as he helped Mezzo drop himself. So maybe this is time for Feila to push and actually get another point on this map.
Honestly, Feila, you know, there's teams who try to go for the AE push, right? Because if you cap A, you have like basically one try to cap E right away. And but if that doesn't happen, you should just go back, guys. Actually, Feila makes their way onto the B point here. Joe is so weak. Gets taken out by a nice shot by Pioneer, but the B cap is finally gonna go down after what seems like an eternity. 4 minutes 48. They tried to make AE push work so much, CeeJaey. You know, at some point it is very defendable if you know what's gonna happen. And now I would like them to go for B much faster, because if you have B, or the more points you cap on this map, the more the map actually opens up to you. And they seem to be focusing on E point once again, because now the red team actually spawns back. And Joe is trying to get the spawns denied here, but he's all alone. He's actually taken a takeout, gonna be taken out by Demos, and now Demos has damage on the point. And since the bridges are not up yet, not everybody can get on it.
Yeah, they're still going for this E point, but they're finally spreading out, and that's all the point of Steel. You can focus the E point at any time, but it's good to get some pressure on the other points to kind of split your forces up. If you just focus one point, you just follow your defenses on that point, and you can block it. But Menti's still trying to go for that E point. He gets denied by the Sentry. There is a level 3 by FTH there now. Kunu still running the Classic. But we do see the first 3 points, and that C point is crucial. That basically means you're attacking as an attacking team, you get instant respawns now, and it's over 20 seconds every time the enemy team dies. And also you get the bridges on the E point. That means every class can now access that final point. So starting to look better for Feila. 5-6 for those first 3 points. And Tercio is going to have to use his Uber on the D point. They take down Layla and Joe in T-time. And that was just kind of a meat grinder, where the Feila combo was the meat being grinded, I'm afraid.
Although Menti has a nice coordination with his spy, because he just zapped the sentry, and Menti used this opportunity to jump in, kills the engineer, kills the sentry, and the dispenser. So no setup here for the defending team. And like I said, these spawn timers are a pain in the butt here. The more caps had been go down. But it is enough here with the conch popped off for Gimme opponent to actually contest this point. Stefani is disconnected and falls down to the pit. This should be another pit kill here for our chat. Tercio is disconnected, he's on the C point, and now should be the time for Feila to actually get some cap time. This E point caps off pretty slow though, if you're not at least times 4 times 5. 4 people up for Gimme opponent. And now, which what you have to do, CeeJaey, is now you go through C point, what they do right now, and try to spam from BC connect you out to this point.
There should be one person capping D. I mean, like I said, Bigger Forces just put one person, anyone, an NG, something, onto D. but yeah, all of the defenses just come straight onto Wheat, and they kill so many people. They're not actually going to be able to capture the point. The Uber comes out from Layla. She's able to save her demo and her heavy, and it's actually going to be good for them. They're going to pick up quite a few frags. Only 3 alive here, but the counter Uber comes in. Tuja's going to get most of it. Bloodis is going to get gunned down by that minigun of Tuja. Terzier though gets body shot, and that's a wipe. Finally, we see a wipe.
Everybody's down, and this is gonna be all she wrote. First round of CP Steel, and the time is gonna be 8:07, which is incidentally the exact same time they set on Upward.
Oh yeah.
It is the exact same
it's
time.
Exact
to
same
the
time.
second. I have not ever in my entire life as a player or as a caster seen that, but
I mean, that was the
exactly
first map as well,
odds.
so some symmetry going on here.
Very much.
But yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the execution of the AE push. If you're gonna ignore B and you want to do the AE push, you need to have every single person in exactly the right place. You need your sniper watching the A side spawn. You need your sentry there with a teleporter. You need your combo watching BC but not getting pushed into the pit, and you need your mobile classes capping the point. And unfortunately, if 1 or 2 of their players are out of position and you die to a pit, you get backstabbed, something like that, it just doesn't work. But I have seen some comebacks on this map. One that stands out is when Sweden somehow beat the Steel Masters Russia in the Nations Cup a few years ago, and it looked like Russia had done enough, and then Sweden just kind of by the skin of their teeth held on. We'll have to see whether Gimme opponent decide to go for an AE push, or whether they're going to take their time and just go through the alphabet. We'll see what happens, but a nice pick there from Proki. He's going to take down Demo, so no suiciding coming in from him. Bloodis takes a lot of damage. He's going to have to wait for some heals from Layla before he contests again. But we are not seeing much of an AE push here, Stinson.
No,
so
very fast push here onto the A point, but it seems like they're going to for the P point. Piney gets taken out, and no play on the sentry or the minigun. This is a really strong forward hold here. And now they're moving a lot of players into this right room here. The flag is gonna be completely destroyed. Menti goes down. Jixi is really low. He's gonna get chased, but he gets out of his life. And he has, more importantly, called that their game was behind. The Mezzo is trying to get out of the play here on the CeeJaey. Oh, I guess he gets taken out. But now it is, once they have been called, it's easy for the red team to rotate to the BC connector, and you just need to have a pyro on the corner. Yeah, you see, there's a conch popped off by the shoulder, but everybody's hesitating to run around the corner because the pyro running around the mouse 2 button. Incidentally though, Kuno is the only one tapping B point right now, and I like this, what he said. I like pressuring E point at the same time capping C point, and now Joe just goes down to it's a classic body shot from Kuno. This always looks so fun from a perspective mode.
this is really bad for Feila. I mean, they lost so many players. I mean, the first thing I tell people when they say, hey CeeJaey, can you give me a map talk on Steel? When you're on defense, don't throw your life away. And so many players died there, and they had to use their Uber first. And it does look like C Point is pretty much going to be going down for free. Joe Blood is just respawning now. Sodium has just died to Perlex, 20 seconds for him. And that does mean there's not going to be a sentry to be worrying about for the attacking team. And they've got so much time to play with. Just under 6 minutes, as it does look like we have a pause. So yeah, it gives us time to take stock of the situation. But yeah, about 6 minutes. C Point is just getting capped now. And you know, that's a lot of time for those final 2 points for Gimme opponent. They can fail a few pushes here, and as long as they keep trading and getting the better trades player-wise, they're still going to be an advantage every single time.
I would say that, you know, this is a dire situation for Feila, but honestly, if they had their engineer up, this would be fine if they had level 3 sentry on E, because what you can do is, as a combo, you can just kind of camp White Room, as in most people refer to lobby, and you can rotate around to D, because D is gonna be the next point, right? D or E is gonna be the next point, and you can rotate so fast, especially if you have a soldier with you, as we are unpausing right now, and you have the whip in Highlander. I always say, you know, rather let C go and then concentrate on the last 2 points, as gaming opponents are gonna push B, C point you onto D point, and I do not like that. because it is very exposed to sidelines. So Kima's trying to get time on the point here. Piney goes down FTH, goes down the nice stickies, and it's very easy for the combo. This is what I said. It's so easy for the combo to deny this attempt and get a lot of damage here onto the blue team.
Yeah, I mean, after that, you can either go through the high ground, through the spawn, which makes you susceptible to the demo, or try to go through the white room through the E point. And there is a lot of players kind of defending that area, and they are losing, you know, a few players here. So it's not looking too comfortable. They are rotating towards D now through the high ground, but there is players waiting for them there, including Layla. But Demos is spotted out, going in for the damage. So much damage down onto those players. They're going to get some time now onto the D point. Just under 5 minutes to go for them.
Joe goes down to the nice stick from Demos, and Layla decides to leave the spawn. The blue Uber is popped up. Layla just barely gets back into spawn and on cabinet. But there's blue players on the D-cap. Please, somebody cap deep. T-time rather is trying to make a play onto Tertiary, but goes down for his efforts. And D-cap, as soon as he got that down, it's really easy to deny the forward spawns because they can only spawn from one direction here. And it's time for it's 4 minutes until E. This is I don't think I've ever seen anyone hold this, CeeJaey.
I've seen it done. If you can get your combo into white room, you can actually block this point really easily, but it is really much do or die. And as you can see, they're not in a position. They're in the BC connector, which is much harder to push out from. It's basically just a choke, sucking up all the spam. But in comes Bloodis, getting a lot of damage down onto the players, onto the point. Joe is dead, so there's not going to be any demo spam. Perlex is winning the soldier battle underneath there. They're not getting that much time on the point. Finally, players are starting to group up. Bloodis is doing the best he can. Uber comes in. Tertiary with the counter Uber. He's going to push demos away. I know T-time gets dropped. Oh no, Bloodis should be able to get finished off there by Kunu. There is a level 3 sentry by FTH, just going to kill anyone who tries to get close to the point to physically block it. And with only Menti alive now, he's nowhere near the E point. He's going to have to go there like a Sonic. He's actually fighting Piney on C, and finally the cap does go down. First of one on Steel goes to Gimme Opponent. It is the reverse sweep, ladies and gentlemen. And it is going to be Gimme Opponent winning the lower bracket final. And they'll be playing Elephant in the grand final of Season 24, UGC Platinum. Of course, the European division. Stinson,
indeed.
What's your immediate reaction to that, man?
The immediate reaction is that I really like that UGC doesn't play best of threes in these playoffs usually, unless both teams agree. On the other hand, I really would want to see more Steel because Steel is such a good map. Holy moly! Engineers just build level 3 sentries that decide the game, and there's like so many mechanics around. I want to cast more Steel. Honestly, this is so good, but congratulations to Gimme Opponents. I did not expect this at all. Okay, it was actually, Steel wasn't even close at that point. It was still like 3 minutes left to cap E. Defensive spawns go to up to like 25 seconds, so they had so much time to do it. They kept that calm. And yeah, congratulations. Grand finals on Monday here on KritzKast, I believe, at the 9th of April. Obviously, the time has to be determined, and we have some logs in the near future here. Everybody loves logs, and CeeJaey has been doing such a good time. Hence,
I love my stats.
I love my stats as well. We have the logs on the stream right now, and what I see is again, especially Sodium. This is weird because the first look doesn't always go to like engineers, but Sodium had 1 kill in 15 minutes, and
I mean, engineer on Steel. It's your team's like getting rolled. Right. Like if they're losing points, it's very difficult for you to do anything yourself. Like your sentry is pretty much that last stop. So I mean, yeah, you can see like both engineers not getting that much damage.
My point was not that like he sucked, right? I was gonna make the point that I felt like Gimme Opponents had a much more, I guess, much more refined game plan for that map.
Mm-hmm.
Although Feila picked this map, which was for me very odd, and especially, like I said, I did not like how Feila tried to make this AE push work again and again. And it just seemed like for me that the opponents knew this map much better, and this just shows in the way that Sodium did not get supported enough. Because the engineer can do a lot on offense and on defense. It can actually deny a lot of areas. And Kuno also, with 15 and 6. Porky just 8 frags. Porky did not feel comfortable on this map, CeeJaey.
I think the things that start, like, I think logs on a best of one are very difficult to decipher, especially kind of in the fashion that it was. So it is going to be lopsided to the team that defended first, usually, because they could just sit back and get the frags. I think the end result of this map was just simply down to the execution. Feila eSports had the right idea. They just didn't have everybody, like, didn't have all their chess pieces in the right position on the board. If they had everyone playing in the right place at the right time and doing their jobs, that AE push could have worked and they would have capped in a couple of minutes. And who knows, they could be going through to the grand final right now. But the problem was they were dropping too many players. They were getting baited into positions, and it was Hugo who was just pushing them off. The big ones you got to look at are the deaths for the key classes. Layla going 2 for 4, only dying 4 times, and Tercia only dying 3 times. So neither medic actually died very much. So it wasn't like, you know, the medics were getting picked off all the time on the Feila side. But you take a look at the Pyro and the demo. Okay, Hugo going 14 for 5. T-Time dying 8 more times. Now, T-Time absolutely pounded on the early map, so we know how much of a good of a player he is. But if he's getting killed a lot on a map like this, he can't deny that final point. He can't air blast people off, which is what Hugo was repeatedly doing. Take a look at Demo's dice 4 times compared to Joe's 15. Demo and Soldier are the 2 most important classes on this map. And if your Demo is constantly dying, then, you know, the other Demo is just allowed to just shut your team out. There are so many doorways that it's so easy to spam, sticky trap, just pipe through, especially with the Iron Bomber these days. So not particularly faults of those players. I'm not calling out those players, but I'm saying those classes are so important that your team needs to play around them. And like I said, if everyone was playing in the right places and executing the plan kind of perfectly, then it would have worked. But if there's just one tiny kind of opening in that armor and the enemy team exploits it, then everything starts falling apart. And I think that's what we saw here today. But yeah, I mean, the defending champions, Feila eSports, obviously Season 23 Platinum champions, are going to finish 3rd this season. I think they've finished 3rd and 2nd a number of times. So they're picking up the medals. But unfortunately, it's not going to be a first place one for them this time around. And the grand final, like Stinson said, it will be on Monday. Elephant versus Gimme opponent.
Although you say the grand final, I mean, there might be 2 grand finals, right?
It could be, yeah.
Because Gimme opponent actually has to win 2 best of 3s because they come in from the lower bracket as they lost the game in order to win the title. And on Monday, Elephant has the one and only chance to just win 1 best of 3 and be champions of this UGC season. So definitely look out for this on KritzKast. It will happen on this channel, probably either at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock. Central European time, that is, or 10 more minutes before or after whatever Highlander delay we have, cough cough. But as we do not have any interviews, no players from the losing team were willing or did have the time to join us here, or able to join us here. I would just want to briefly mention what is next here on KritzKast channel. We actually have the Copenhagen Games Grand Final rerun tomorrow, and as well as not only the finals, but the entirety of Copenhagen Games is going to be rerun tomorrow here. I'm assuming from the early afternoon on then, because there's actually a lot of games, or a lot of coverage rather. It's going to be on KritzKast here on stream, and there's going to be the show, the KritzKast, the Saturday weekly show that you're used to at around 9 p.m. I believe, with Agro and Jake Owati, who has been a caster on Copenhagen Games, so he has a lot of tales to tell. On Sunday, we have TF2 HUD games. Not sure what fixture we're covering and what casts are going to be available. But look out for that, because I'm very, very sure that we're gonna have coverage on this game. Look for it on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you're following KritzKast, even in the Discord. That's fine. You should follow on Twitter though to keep up to date to anything that's happening with KritzKast in the future. And on Monday, like CeeJaey said and mentioned, UGC Grand Finals. So your next 3 days should be whatever you want. And then in the late afternoon or evening, watch KritzKast every day.
Yeah, I mean, just have that on your schedule every day. KritzKast, just pop in. I mean, the best way to keep updated with what's going on is take a look at the KritzKast Twitter. Follow KritzKast on Twitter, and it will always be notifications letting you know what games are coming up. Also, a quick shout out to go to lan.teamfortress2.com if you want to find some amazing merch related to the Copenhagen Games, where you can buy all sorts of amazing items related to Team Fortress 2, Denmark, and everything Highlander and KritzKast. And that will obviously support the people who put the work behind the scenes, the casters, the production, for casts like this, and obviously for the LAN events. But yeah, I mean, that was an amazing game.
I can only say that the LAN was amazing. Everybody loved it. The players loved it. The production loved it. I was lucky enough to be able to help these beautiful and amazing people behind the scenes, and everything that you buy there, all the revenues are going towards the people who put in a ton of work. So if you always wanted to have a Copenhagen Games hoodie, I'm just kidding, but there's all actually, like, the mugs are very, very nice. Just go on land.teamfortress2.com and buy this merch, because everybody's going to be happy about anything we sell there. Especially Wiethoofd, Ash, Gem, all these people from eSports United put on a ton of work. So if you like the event, if you like the coverage, if you like tomorrow's streams from noon evening, go to this website, buy some merch. But before I plug too much, before I do too much advertisement here, CeeJaey, after the end of this UGC stream, we always do shoutouts. Do you have anyone you want to shout out? Do you have anyone you love?
Just one shout out, and that's for my boys, Strong Opinions. LAN was amazing, and every tournament, every game we've played in has been amazing. So thank you to all the lads who've played for Strong Opinions over the years and making it such a fun time. And even though it's been less than a week, I'm already missing them, and I can't wait till the next LAN so we can get together again and play some more TF2 and have some good times. So yeah, looking forward to that, and thank you for casting with me, Stinson. It's been a pleasure as always.
Pleasure for me as well, CeeJaey. You're always my favorite co-caster in the whole world. My shoutouts go to Wiethoofd, who has once again joined us today and has done what I'm assuming an amazing job at producing and observing this game. My shoutout goes to Leif. Leif? So that's that weird Finnish habit.
Leif Saunason.
Leif Saunason.
Lad.
Exactly. He's a lad. And he tells me that I am at least twice a week, so I'm really happy about that. Shoutouts to KritzKast for having us on. Shout out to everybody who went to Copenhagen, everybody who supports TF2 in any way. If you subscribe to this Twitch channel or to CeeJaey or to anything, if you donate to Hux TF, which is going on in 2 weeks, we love you all. Honestly, this community is the best ever. And stay tuned for Monday Grand Finals. Tomorrow we have rerun of Copenhagen Games, and on Sunday we have Wiethoofd for you guys. This has been UGC Season 24 lower bracket finals between Gimme opponents and Feila eSports. Feila eSports is gonna take care of these bronze place medals, and Gimme opponents is gonna face elephants on Monday at least once. We have been lucky to have you as our spectators and viewers, and we wish you a good evening. Until next time, bye.